Once again, a best of two between the House is Down and Not Today. Not Today just coming off of a fresh 2-0 over Union Gaming, and the House is Down, I believe, went 1-1 versus Azuris. So the House is Down not feeling as good as Not Today, but they both should feel pretty comfortable in this matchup. However, Not Today, as we said, a little bit more of a stronger team in general. So the House is Down. They have to run something a little bit strange, a little bit off the rails if they want to catch Not Today off guard. And I have seen the House is Down run said weird stuff, so it's certainly in the realm of possibility that we see something a little bit crazy.
For now, nothing too crazy coming up from the draft. The Brewmaster is banned out, which I think is a smart move up against Not Today. It's a hero that they're very comfortable with getting, and I think they got it in both of the games in their first series that they've played. So I think it's definitely worth the early ban. I assume that Not Today are considering banning out the Lycan right now if they don't want to first pick that. Or they could leave it in the pool if they do want to run with the first pick Lycan. I think this is the decision they're thinking of right now. We'll have to see what the consensus is going to be from their team, but I would assume that's what they're contemplating. Meepo ban.
Oh,
I'm sad and happy at the same time. Meepo getting a lot of respect in the ban phase is... I don't know. I'm torn about it. If the House is Down are that comfortable with their Meepo, I would have loved to see them leave it in the pool to just have that first picked up so he can watch them play a sick Meepo game. But then again, Meepo is still being respected, so there we go.
Yeah, kind of a bummer. I love seeing Meepo played. I don't care who plays it or how they play it. I just want to see him in the game. It's not going to happen, though, as the House is Down are going to get a lot of respect in banning out that Meepo. This is going to let a lot of powerful heroes through. Faceless Void is in the pool. Viper's in the pool. All the supports that they could possibly want are in the pool. So the House is Down have pretty much their pick of whatever they want. As Not Today, what they want is a Death Prophet, which is not something we've seen them play today. Although, I mean, it is potentially an aggressive hero. It's not really super YOLO aggressive that we've seen coming out from Not Today thus far. It is a capable hero nonetheless, and it's a very versatile hero that you could first pick very easily without knowing where you're actually going to be going, and then end up somewhere where the Death Prophet's going to fit in perfectly.
Yeah, more or less. The House is Down, as you said, cream of the crop in the supports. I wouldn't be surprised to see Faceless Void, but then again, I think Viper +1 support is also a pretty solid opener. Doom is left in the pool if they want to go for it, although Doom is questionable up against Death Prophet. She already has her ultimate up, it's not going to do much, but instead, something completely different than Nature's Prophet. A solid all-around hero, although I'm not sure if he deserves this front spot in the draft. It definitely can work out. A fairly versatile one at that. You can play very early in an aggressive style where you build those nil talismans and just rotate as much as possible. If the House is Down, I think this is just a balls deep pushing strat as they pick up the Jakiro next.
It seems to be that way. Nature's Prophet, Jakiro do one thing, or they share one thing that they do very well, and that is push towers. I bet the House is Down would have loved to pick up a Death Prophet right now, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. With the Jakiro pickup with the Nature's Prophet, Not Today, they're going to be under quite a bit of pressure. The question is, for the House is Down, how deep are they going to go into this pushing comp? Are they going to pick up a Pugna? Are they going to pick up an Enigma for more units? Are they just going to get some initiation so they can start the fights on their own terms and go for a Faceless Void? What is going to be their follow-up to this? Because right now they have a pretty clear goal, and Not Today with the pick of the Shadow Shaman. It's very smart, and essentially getting another ban for the House is Down. You don't really want to be dealing with Liquid Fire, Treants, and Serpent Wards. That's just a little bit too much. So Not Today, they ban out a lot of push in the House is Down, while at the same time, they're sitting on a lot of push themselves. Death Prophet, Shadow Shaman are very capable of killing off towers, killing off Roshan, stuff like that. So this is just going to be a huge push versus push comp, and when that happens, the team that could split push the best is going to usually take the edge, and there are very few split pushers that could beat Nature's Prophet. I expect to see a Tinker in a ban or a pick spot eventually here.
I would say that's fair. Tinker is probably a little bit better for Not Today than it is for the House is Down for several reasons. The House is Down's push is currently more reliant on the creeps than the Not Today push. Is once Serpent Wards are down and Exorcism's up, it doesn't really matter if the March is there. It's going to be annoying for sure to deal with, but it's still manageable as your damage is still going to get out. Nature's Prophet Treants will be destroyed by that March of the Chiens, and without the March and without the creeps, it doesn't matter if the attack speed of the tower is slowed down, the push is going to be stymied very heavily. Pugna, the ban coming out from Not Today, I'd expect the House is Down to ban out the Tinker here, unless they want to pick it up for themselves. And then they also, Tinker on the Radiant side generally has a better time in the laning phase than the Dire Tinker.
A little bit easier to stack up the Ancients. You could clear hard camps very easily if you stack a couple of them with your supports. But the house is down. They really just don't want to be playing against Tinker, but they're going to, I would say, put a little bit of respect towards Not Today. We saw Ewo's Lone Druid a couple times recently, and it was pretty solid. It's definitely a solid pushing hero, and it's a hero that also can fight decently early as long as the bear gets the Entangle, the level for Entangle, so level 5 on the Lone Druid. But this is going to keep Tinker into the pool, and Not Today, you said it would be a fantastic pickup for them, seeing as though Nature's Prophet is going to summon Treants, but a sniper so early on for the houses down. I said that they had to do something weird, and they're delivering, and I love it.
I love it, but I don't love it. I think it's very ballsy to pick the sniper this early. There's plenty of picks left for Not Today to punish this pick very heavily. Shadow Shaman on his own isn't the best at roaming, but now with an Earthshaker, his weakness of not being able to get in range for his Shackles is completely mitigated. With a Fissure and then into Shackles with some Crypt Storms on the sniper, sniper's dead if they lane him in the mid, and even safe lane. This sniper could get punished very heavily. They have some decent ways, or, well, the Earthshaker to initiate from range, and it's just so weird. I don't know. I think the sniper is going to be played in the mid and more in the shrapnel spam utility role than just straight up right-clicking sniper. He'll transition to that later for sure, but I think we'll probably be seeing like Phase Drums Aquila or Treads Drums Aquila, just those early stat items so he can push with his team. I don't know. Very, very interesting pick from the houses down.
We did see the weakness of Sniper last game in that Not Today was playing it with Ewo handling that hero. He got demolished early on. Like, there was no two ways about it. He was sat on by the Rubik Tidehunter all game long, and it just wasn't fun for him. But he eventually got over that hump and delivered a whole ton of damage in the late game. And the house is down. They're going to be gearing up for a much more consolidated push as they pick up the Invoker, actually. So maybe not Sniper mid. Maybe it's going to be Sniper safe. Either way, the house is down are going to get a little bit more pushing and a little bit more early game power. Really, what you hate to see is when teams go for full-on push strats, but their lanes end up suffering, and they lose in the laning phase, and then they can never get the game off the ground. Invoker's a good way to get a little bit more power in the early stage, and potentially set up for some early picks. If the pushing strat is the one that gets the kills early, then odds are they're going to be pushing a lot harder. So Invoker, with this pick of the Forge Spirits, as well as the early game damage, I think it's good. I think I like it.
I don't know. The Houses Down's lineup just feels like a pub lineup. It doesn't really synergize that well together. They have some decent push with all of their heroes. They all contribute something. But their team fight's just so weak. The Houses Down need to avoid fights early on and avoid skirmishes as much as possible. If they get roamed on by an Earthshaker Shadow Shaman effectively, if Not Today are active around the map, I'm not sure this Houses Down lineup is going to be able to get off the ground. The next pick for Not Today is going to be a Tidehunter, and it's a wonderful one at that. They're going to be able to initiate teamfights on their terms 9 times out of 10 when Ravage is online. I don't know. The house is down. They're going for something very risky. If they do get that early start, it could be very scary to play up against. But if they don't, it could be a fairly straightforward win for Not Today. Not Today are going for the tried and true, and the house is down are gambling a bit. And, well, when you are at a disadvantage in a series, or at least as raw skill level is concerned, going for the risk, it can pay off, and it might be the way that the house is down want to take this game.
Yeah, you gotta just get the risk as much as you can, I guess, if you really want to sneak a game, and that's what they're going to be looking to do. They need one more support hero, as Not Today get banned out from them, the Ember Spirit. If Not Today pick up something like a Clockwork or a Storm Spirit or any hero that could jump in and initiate, a Faceless Void is actually still in the pool, and Not Today would probably love to pick up that hero, just to have the Chronosphere. It can't contribute that much to the early game pushing, or the counter pushing rather, but initiating on the houses down is what they want to do. They want to get to the back end, get to the sniper, and then kill him off. Once that happens, the house is down, they're going to struggle a lot more. So I want to see someone from Not Today pick up something with a lot of initiation. Tidehunter and Earthshaker are okay once they get their blinks, but that's going to be quite a long ways off if the house is down truly bring the heat early on. So Not Today, they're going to I'd say they either want a Tinker or they want someone who could initiate, and the house is down. They need another support hero. If they're going to go full on in this pushing, then something like an Enigma wouldn't be the worst pick for them, but I think just taking a hero that could fight early on is really what they want, and it's going to be a Chen actually, so the house is down. They are pretty much all in on this pushing strategy.
They are. It's kind of a middle ground between your Enigma and your hero that can fight early. Chen can roam pretty effectively if he gets the right creeps. I'm not sure they're actually going to be able to do anything, however, is with a Jakiro as well as a Chen, they need some sort of setup, and Not Today. They go for something altogether different, not an initiator, not a tinker, it's going to be a morphling, which will completely shore up their late game sniper. Unless he has a BKB, is going to be obliterated by a morphling shotgun combo, and even then, if he catches him in an off time where that BKB is down, it still could work out. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this morphling pick, but with the lack of lockdown coming out from the houses down, they have Ice Path, and that's it. Centaur Stomps maybe, but that's about all that's going to keep this morphling in check. This morphling could have a wonderful game, and honestly, in that sense, I might have preferred something along the lines of a Weaver, but either way, that's going to be a pick, and into the game we go with Not Today playing on the Radiant side, with Masoku handling the Earthshaker. Our other support is going to be Mystico on the Shadow Shaman. Our other lanes are going to be off lane, Tidehunter, handled by Mihawk. Mid is going to be Death Prophet, played by Smash, and safe lane is going to be that Morphling, handled by Ewo.
And on the house's downside, Liposa is going to be playing the Invoker, currently heading up towards the top lane with Boots first. Gui is on the Jakiro. I don't think that's, I think he went by a different name, I believe, the Jakiro, but I don't know. Yuka is going to be going mid as the Sniper. Also going up towards top is going to end up in the jungle. Vestius is going to be on the Chen, and that leaves Jubilu down towards the bottom lane solo as the Nature's Prophet. And, well, with this Morphling pickup, it is a hero that, as far as carry heroes go, can contribute a good amount early on. Waveform, as well as having a generally high base damage, is, pretty useful. Oh, whoa, there's the camera. Okay, is generally pretty useful when you are going to be pushed. So Ewo with the waveform is going to be very nice, as he does actually waveform for a creep in the very early stage. It's kind of questionable, but okay, whatever. The house is down. If they don't win early on, then they're probably not going to win at all. Though they do have a sniper as well as an invoker, and Nature's Prophet split push late game. Really, they're just so focused, and their playstyle is probably going to reflect that in the fact that they want to push early and often. And the question is, can Not Today defend? I think if Not Today leave the Tide, Earth, the Death Prophet, and Shadow Shaman to kind of do the bulk of the legwork while the Morphling just farms, then Not Today they should be more or less fine.
Yeah, I would say that that's pretty fair. It's up to this Chen, especially, to get the work done. He only has one smoke, which is fine and all. He is going to block the Tidehunter's Ancients. At this point, I'm not sure if that matters that much. It's going to be annoying, at the very least, but it's only a Sentry Ward, so we'll still have that contingency plan unless they continuously refresh that ward. It's by no means a bad choice, as if they do place a ward on the high ground over there, they might be able to get a D-ward as well. But for now, we are going to see dual lanes coming up for Not Today with the Earthshaker Tidehunter going up top. I think Earthshaker's just going to start roaming around after this, just blocking off the creep wave. A lot of time that the Earthshaker is spent doing very little, but then again, he's not going to do much against Nature's Prophet anyway. I think it's fine, although very peculiar.
Yeah, we saw this from Not Today in the last game as well. Masoku, kind of nomadic in how he opened up the game, just wandering around, potentially defending people against Chen ganks and stuff like that. And he already used a Fissure as well as a Clarity, so really his job right now is just make sure people don't die. And with Vestius finding a Centaur at level 1, it's going to be all the more important that Earthshaker is there to save his buddy, because if Centaur gets a wraparound, and they probably can't get a kill on the Death Prophet, but they could put a lot of pressure on her, it's certainly a dangerous situation for the Death Prophet over mid. However, Vestius is now spotted out by Masoku, and well, he's going to very quickly put a stop to this, although taking a lot more damage than actually dealing. Masoku choosing the wrong path to get through this Chen, taking a lot of right clicks.
Yeah, Centaur is still pursuing him, not really accomplishing much, but he'll eventually back off towards his leader in the Chen and go back to farming in the aggressive jungle. This might not net them any kills, but it's going to put some psychological pressure on Not Today, as the Chen could be anywhere, as their wards are committed entirely on the enemy side of the map, and this ward is going to do very little to nothing up on the top river, with the exception of Rune Vision, but the Chen's rotations are going to be more or less unseen. Vestius is actually going to back off into his own jungle, so he can get a little bit more farm. It's okay as well, although I would have liked to see him just stick around in the enemies.
Yeah, there's generally two ways you could play Chen. You go aggressive with the Centaur or a Troll or something like that, and you try to kill people very early on. Usually doesn't work when you're roaming by yourself into a lane with a sniper, but it's a possibility. The other one is you stack up a whole bunch of camps, and then you find a Wild Wing, and then you tornado them all down. And oh, this is also a very good way for a Chen to go. Finding a courier, hello! Vestius is going to get a free pick-off here. Nature's Prophet also going to teleport in. Courier, no! You will die with the boots actually delivered to Mihawk. So I guess not the worst, but Mihawk's certainly in a lot of trouble right now. He's going to try to hide in the trees, but he can't actually go anywhere from that path. And oh, the house is down. They just have to get him. Stomp. No, Mihawk's going to book it. He has 2 points in Anchor Smash, and the damage reduction with the Sunstrike won't be enough to kill him off. Oh man, Tidehunter somehow escapes there. I don't think the houses down realize that this little area in the trees doesn't actually lead anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. They could have just left the centaur like over here and a hero over here, and then just right-clicked him down. There was nowhere for him to run. The centaur is going to die, it seems, to the creeps at 27 HP, but they're going to take themselves a tier 1 tower as well as a courier kill. Big win for THD, despite not getting the first blood. They come out with a lot of gold, and that's going to propel their farm very heavily. They're not farming incredibly well in their lanes. The Death Prophet doing very well up against this sniper, 17 and 5 compared to 10 and 3, and bottom lane, the Morphling's getting pretty much unobstructed farm, as the Nature's Prophet has spent a lot of his time rotating for the courier and then into the tier 1. So, not today, or not without getting some advantage, but this push isn't going to stop. The Centaur isn't very healthy, but it's still going to provide the aura, at the very least, and with Liquid Fire, although it's not doing the most damage at only level 2, it's slowing down the attack speed of that tower 50%, which is very significant for these tower pushes. Now with some more treants, they're not rotating anybody to stop this. It's going to be a tier 2 tower. Do they get a better trade across the map? They'll get a tier 1 tower of their own for the Morphling who picks that up, and now he's going to have a completed Midas. Not today, or just kind of turtle this out until the storm of the push coming out from THD is stopped. There's a 4-man fissure, but they'll get this tier 2 tower. Attempt to deny from the Earthshaker is going to fail, punched a little too early.
Well, taking a 1 tower for 2 tower trade for not today definitely isn't the best situation for them, but at the same time, they know that they're going to get pushed, and if they can make any trade around the map happen, then it's going to be perfect for them. So I think the real swingy part of that, those last series of events, was the fact that the House Down also took a courier kill. If they didn't get that, I would say not today are going to still be in a pretty comfortable position, but that courier just gave the House Down just so much extra gold. So essentially they got 3 towers down, which is pretty insane. Also, the Morphling Mighty Bold going for a Hand of Midas seems to be fairly comfortable against the possible push from the Houses Down, but I mean, the Houses Down just straight up grouped up in 3 minutes into the game and took the entirety of the Not Today's top lane. The Morphling has to respect that just a little bit, and I don't know what would have been a better item for the Morphling. I think just probably going for the intermediary items, and the Ring of Aquila, the drums even, power treads or phase boots or something like that for the Morphling would have been definitely a lot safer in a way to go, but he's gone for the greed route, and that's going to let the Houses Down have a nice opening where they could punish this Morphling for picking up that item that pretty much does nothing to help him fight.
Yeah, I would have liked to see just Drums Aquila, the standard stat items, to help him fight a little bit earlier on, but this is going to allow him to hit his peak at those 2 big items once he gets like a Lincoln's Ethereal Blade, or maybe even BKB. His Nature's Prophet going to drop very low down and bottom. He picks himself up a Midas of his own with the extra tower gold that everybody's getting on his team, as well as the courier gold. And Midas is galore as Invoker joins the club as well. That's going to be 3 this game, with the Midas advantage actually going the way of THD, so maybe they are just going to play this slow and steady.
Well, Yuka's still getting a decent amount of farm, though he is falling behind versus the Death Prophet, which is completely to be expected. Sniper's still having a decent enough time, and as you said, the tower gold as well as that courier gold, making it so that Midas has become a lot more attractive. Yuka taking a lot of damage in mid lane, but he will salve up, although salve is going to be cancelled. No Smash doesn't decide to do it. They're going to go up on top lane. Ewo, he's not in that much trouble because, again, the House is down, don't actually have much to disable. It's going to be Misco down bottom. There's the kill. Got to find it for a little bit. He's going to drop everything he has onto the Jakiro, but that's finally going to be first blood. Mihawk's going to come in mighty fast towards the Jakiro. Anchor Smash being lined up. There's the Gush to drop the armor, then Anchor Smash to follow. I think this Jakiro is just going to be chased down by a very quick fish, and Jakiro has a TP scroll, but unless he gets some nice body blocking from the treants, he's not going to live. 7 HP, 7 HP, and the body block of treants, it is coming in around. Mihawk is going to get trapped now in with Jubilu. Nature's Prophet making a valiant sacrifice there. Mihawk, though, completely out of mana, has bottle charges. No, don't go there, Mihawk. Oh, he's going to look for the Jakiro. He gets nothing, and now he's blocked again. He got no one there. He could have gotten one or the other, or maybe even both, but he got nothing. That was just very well played by the Nature's Prophet. Those treants were such a nuisance.
It almost wasn't very well played, as the body block from the treants almost killed the Jakiro, but he was salving up, and Mihawk, this is going to be the slowest and most painful death you've ever seen, as he can't make his way out of here. Sunstrike not going to be needed as Nature's Prophet drops his ulti. Oh my goodness, Tidehunter, you greedy fish you, is going to end up getting punished. First blood going the way of THD, secondary kill going the way of THD. They might be able to find it. No, Sniper is fine. He'll get fissured and drop down to about half, but again, it's a little bit more economic damage done by Not Today as they deny a mid-tier 1 tower. But still, map control going the way of THD. They're not going to be super fine with this. But it's not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination. They're still looking good as far as farm is concerned. When you're running the Shrapnel Spam Sniper, it's almost expected that that tower is going to be denied, but then again, you get the tower.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of something for the Houses Down. It lets them open up for pushes down the line towards the tier 2 towers, which are a little bit more valuable. But really, they don't even have to be doing that, because the Chen, though he has been pretty active, he's now just slowly farming his jungle, and with these double hands of Midas for the houses down, they should be happy with the towers that they got, or they can be happy with the towers that they got, and they could just chill for this game, because they haven't really YOLO pushed that hard anywhere. I mean, they've been pushing very aggressively, kind of as to be expected, but they haven't really sacrificed anything and going for suicidal pushes or anything like that. Smash is going to find Jubilu. He'll put a lot of damage onto him, but it won't be enough to actually get the kill, as he does teleport out that Nature's Prophet. So no kills for Smash. He does use his first Exorcism to get pretty much nothing. The house is down with these Midas, and the fact that they're playing a little bit more calm than I thought they would be. If they do take this to the late game, then they should be fine. Like, that, not today. They do have a Morphling with Hand of Midas, which is incredibly dangerous, but versus a stacked Nature's Prophet, Invoker, and a Sniper who's getting some pretty good farm, I don't know if the Morphling is enough for not today to actually hold this if it does come late.
Well, Laposa down in bottom, he's going to cold snap up the Shadow Shaman, but he still gets the Hex off. He won't be able to get off the Shackles on Laposa. He's probably going to die here. They might be able to chase him down. One more auto attack comes through. He's going to invoke something. It is Sunstrike. Another waveform. Ether Shock. Shadow Shaman secures that kill. But yeah, late game, it's going to be kind of a toss-up. If they get the Scythe of Ice on the Invoker and the Nature's Prophet, I'll agree with you. But if they don't have that lockdown to keep the Morphling in place, even if they have a stack Sniper, it doesn't matter if he dies at the start of the fight every time. Either way, Indro, Shampit, THD are going to go, and if they get enough advantage across the map, that might also change things. As now with Roshan going their way, I'm not sure if Not Today are prepared to fight into this. The Morphling and Shadow Shaman up top, they send the Invoker back, and I'm not sure they actually know this is going on. The Sniper is missing from mid lane, but the lane's not pushing directly into his tower, so they might be able to get away with this scot-free.
Yeah, it looks like they will. Not today. They have a Ravage available, but Mihawk is none the wiser on the bottom lane. He's just happily farming away, and, well, soon the Aegis is going to be most likely on the Sniper. Yuka's going to grab that one. Yes, they will. And then I think they're just going to go for bottom lane. I mean, they have a giant army here, and they have a level 5 Chen, so he's very close to level 6. Hand of God soon to be up, and he already does have the 2 creeps available. This tier 1 tower in the bottom lane for Not Today is going to very quickly fall, I expect. And, well, they might get a trade up on top as they do deploy the Serpent Wards for that, but the creep wave isn't actually there. Smash is around, so they'll very quickly kill off the enemy creep wave, and the Replicate is tanking up the tower, but it's going to be a tier 1 for a tier 1 trade, but with the momentum, oh, what is Masoku doing here? All the way, what? I have no idea why the Earthshaker is here. Hoof Stomp is there from the Centaur. Is it called Hoof Stomp? It's called War Stomp. Same thing. Hoofs, Wars, you know, same thing. But it will be a tier 1 tower. First going the way of Not Today, but they have to prepare for a very aggressive push down bottom, because realistically, the houses down could go for the entirety of this bottom lane.
Yeah, especially without their Earthshaker. He is fairly low leveled at level 5, so he's going to be back up before they push in the tier 2 tower, but then again, his TP is on cooldown after finding himself a really awkward spot to be caught out in. They have the Ravage as well as the Death Prophet inbound, but I'm not sure they want to take this fight. They'll clear up the creep wave and delay things, but with Liquid Fire as well as Shrapnel, it's going to fall one way or another as they net down Mihawk. Mihawk can't get off a nice Ravage, and tower's not going to be taken just yet. They're actually going to glyph this to deny at 12 HP. Should be a pretty easy smack from the Death Prophet there, and they'll be able to secure the deny at the very least. TP away from Jubilu. It's going to be canceled. He cancels the TP, and the Fissure gets canceled. He won't be able to make it out. Jubilu caught in here. The Fissure just going to be punched down by the Earthshaker. They might bring in the Tide Hunter as well. He's going to sprout, and he might be able to get this TP off. The Crypt Storm is going to be too much damage. Why did he cancel his TP there? Nature's Prophet thought the Earthshaker was on the ball, but Earthshaker was not, as they find in the mid, Mystico going to be man fighting up against Gui. He's going to be brought down by the Chen. His faith was tested, and he found it wanting, as 2 to 4 hour kill score. 2 tower denies are going to hurt the economy of THD a fair bit, but still, they're running with 2 Midases. They can, I don't know, take this pretty comfortably late if they want to. In mid lane, there is a little bit of a group up from Not Today, but it looks like they want to go top.
Well, Not Today. They still have that Exorcism up. Only used once so far and hasn't really been doing that much of anything. Ewo potentially getting teleported upon, but really the lack of disables starting to hurt the houses down as they can't get a beat on the Morphling, and if you can't lock him down, then you're probably not going to kill him. He's happily farming his way towards a Lincoln Sphere after this Hand of Midas, and the houses down, they haven't punished this Midas on the Morphling at all, but they are definitely getting a lot of gold themselves. The Maelstrom's coming up from the Sniper, the Invoker is almost at his Necro Book, and the Nature's Prophet is almost at his Necro Book as well. I didn't expect the House Down to go this deep into the pushing after the Hands of Midas with the books, but I guess it will help them bring down the rest of the tier 2 towers. I thought if they would just go for a little bit more vanilla fighting kind of builds, sheep sticks, orchids, stuff like that, and then try to take it late with these Hands of Midas. But instead, they're going to use the early game advantage to get even more pushing later on. So they're still on this pushing train. I thought they got off.
I did too, but maybe we're going to see a fight break out as the Fissure is going to block off Laposa, and now with the Anchor Smash as well as the nukes from all directions. 5 heroes collapse on the Invoker, and Invoker does not come out alive. As to be expected, Invoker's going to be dead for 30 seconds. He does have buyback, but I doubt we're going to see that spent. Not today are actually not committing entirely to this push. They might drop the Serp Wards and probably will be able to take it with just that, but now Macropire clearing up the creep wave. They should be able to deter this at least for a little bit longer. Jakiro going to start chipping away at these Serp Wards. They'll probably drop this to about half, I would expect, but now they jump in onto Ewo. They do have nets and the follow-up stomps for the Centaurs, but it's not going to be there as one of the Centaurs dies and they won't be able to hold down Ewo. Serp Wards farmed up and only about a quarter damage to this tier 2.
Well, it's a little bit of something, I guess, but that was Serpent Wards being deployed, but it looks like they're not actually done yet. Earthshaker's in a pretty good position. He could sneak in and get a nice Echo Slam onto Jubilee with Ewo. Coming around for the Fissure, open up. Echo Slam is available, not necessary. Misko with the shock is going to get that kill. Now they're going to go for the Jakiro. He's a little bit too tanky, especially with that Liquid Fire, and Cole's not to back up. Ewo getting way in over his head. He needs help. Somebody help Ewo, but he's going to just barely get it away, I think. 60 HP, the Forge Spirit's not enough. He goes to single digits. Sunstrike is not quite on the mark as he stops moving. Beautifully played by Ewo, whether intentionally or not. He's going to make it back home safe and sound. Now Smash with the serious pushing skill is here. Another Macropyre is going to clear the creep wave, but a Siege creep as well as the Exorcism should be more than enough to kill this, although the Chen creeps are rotating in once again. Smash still with the Exorcism up. Misko's going to be zoned out with the Ice Path. Now he's caught in a little bit of an awkward position. Fissure to cover everyone's retreat. Smash gets out alive, and Jubilee's going to teleport in. Misoku also looking to escape. He's going to land, stick the landing. Misko just wants his Blink Dagger. That's all he wants to do. Just go to a side shot, buy that. Try to hide potentially, but if he dies, it's not a big deal. But he's not even going to die. It's 4-4, and not today. Well, they are only one tower behind right now, so I think the Houses Down still have a pretty nice advantage with the fact that they have more Hands of Midas. But the pushing from the Houses Down, the threat of it, is pretty much gone.
Yeah, I would say so as well. And now they've committed halfway into these Necronomicons that are both level 1, and they're not going to be able to do very much with that. They're probably still going to complete them, but now the initiation advantage is in the side of Not Today. They're going to have a Tidehunter with Blink Ravage now. They have the Blink Hexel and Shadow Shaman. I'm not sure THD have enough to keep this sniper alive. He's gone for the Maelstrom afterwards, which is a significant amount of damage if you're able to stay on the back lines, but I don't know, with just a Blink in Tidehunter, follow up with the Shadow Shaman, follow up with the Fissure, this sniper is going to melt. Yeah, 800 HP, not going to help you very much. He has the Aghanim, or the Aegis, excuse me. So it might help him out a little bit, but yeah, he just is too squishy, really. We might be seeing a collapse up top. They do have an Invoker here. Might be looking for the Death Prop. The Cold Snap comes through, but the nice Fissure from the Earthshaker is probably going to stop all aggression on this match. Smash is going to be just fine. In that last fight, Morphling actually survived with 2 HP. I don't know, Strength Warp is a good spell. It spent all of his mana to do so, and it was barely enough, so Ewo potentially just lucky on those high-low rolls, or just knowing the strength of the hero very well. I don't know. Either way, we have smoke coming out from Not Today, and they're looking for initiation with these Blink Daggers. Let's see if they'll be able to find it. Ewo, I think he gave away the fact that they're smoked up, and now he definitely did. As the wave forward, he was still smoked on the other end.
Vestius will dodge the smoke, though, as Smash is going to... Oh, that's actually an Invis Rune. A little bit body blocking, but Sniper kills off the Earthshaker solo. No, with the help of the Invoker up on top lane, as they do go for Vestius now. The Hexes and Disables are there. That's a very dead Chen. The rest of his army is still around, however. Misko going to get divided from the rest of his team. The Chen creep should be enough to kill him off, and they will. Chen is going to take that kill, but they did take a tier 1 tower in exchange. Losing 2 supports in exchange for a support and a tower is not too terrible, especially since Death Prophet can continue with this aggression. But yeah, Ewo is still at a lot of strength, actually. Like, hasn't gone back to the base, but he's like at a really weird stat distribution right now. I don't really know what's going on with him.
Let's see, does he get the max stun from Adaptive Strike? Adaptive Strike isn't maxed out, so that max stun isn't all that impressive either. Just trying to keep himself safe, I suppose, but it's very peculiar. He's hitting for like nothing. There we go. That's a little bit more comfortable with thereabouts 100 damage per hit. He'll be farming a little bit more effectively. Yeah, weird to see him sit on that much strength for that long. Let's see. Nature's Prophet has not completed his Necrobook as far as I am aware. No, never mind. It's on the courier. There we go. Lincoln Sphere coming out from the Morphling. The items are starting to come out from both sides, as we might see a jump onto Yuka. No Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, but they do have a Fissure. It is going to clip him, just the tip. But no follow-up from the Shadow Shaman. And Yuka is going to be fine.
Well, 5 to 6 right now, though it has been a fairly high action game. There haven't been that many kills, which is kind of weird to say. The house is down, though. They have 5 total levels of book, and I think they're going to look to make another push happen, start to restart on their pushing. They're going to go for Yuka. Oh, no, they don't know where he is. They're going to go instead for the Chen. Yuka would have been a lot easier, but Earthshaker just wants to lay that ward down first. Vestius is going to get almost ward trapped, but now that the disable is there, Echo Slam's being committed as well. Can they clean up all these creeps? They'll be able to take down 1, then 2, then 3. That's Chen gone plus his entire army. Suddenly this Chen is set back by quite a lot of time. Though Serpent Wards were deployed for that, I would still say it's totally worth it for Not Today to slow the Chen down that much, because moving forward, Chen is going to be pretty much a dead hero. Like, he has Mech and Hand of God, but that's it. I would say Chen is already nearing the end of his usefulness, and if you shut him down, that's pretty much like the last nail in the Chen coffin.
I suppose so. It's still a lot of ultimates deployed. They might find Yuka, they gush him up, and now they smack him. Okay, there we go. Now, Not Today are going to be very comfortable with how they're sitting. Roshan's going to respawn in 40 seconds. I'm not even sure if that Aegis was used on the sniper. Did that time out? Didn't see. His Nature's Prophet's gone on inside the enemy jungle, and they'll be able to burst him down. No lockdown necessary. They had an adaptive strike, but wasn't even need to cancel any TPs, as they held that long enough in order to do that. Shadow Shaman is up top. They don't have wards because they used it to kill the Chen, but they still should put a lot of hurt in this tier 2 tower since nobody's inbound from THD as I lag out of the server.
Yeah, me too. This isn't good.
No, it's really not. I have melee creeps that are running in place, and all of the heroes just stopped.
My melee creeps aren't even running in place. The Chen creeps and Jakiro, they're just chilling in place, but hopefully it's everyone and not just us. But hopefully everyone will be able to reconnect as well, as it looks like I'm going to just go ahead and drop.
Right.
Reconnect.
Yep.
Alright,
well,
guys, well, sorry for the delays, but unfortunately sometimes Dota is finicky, and, well, as it stands right now, still the Hands of Midas going the way of the Dire, though with the Necrobooks, they haven't yet used them for anything, I don't think. They haven't pushed a single tower, haven't gone for Roshan, which last time I checked was going to respawn pretty quickly, so I don't think the Sniper used the Aegis either. It's looking okay for both sides still. I would say it's a fairly even game, and if it does go late, it'll be slowly more in favor of the Houses Down, but the way that the Not Today side are playing, they're looking to get more kills, and they're getting more kills. So it's a pretty nice way that they're playing, but are you connecting to this game? Because I am not yet.
I'm looking at my beautiful loading screen, as I have been for the last minute or so. That stinks. Hey! I'm in.
Oh, so
are you? Hey! We're both here. As both of the teams are just like, gee, everybody's back in, and, well, looks like it was all that we needed to get back in. So, as soon as we show up, the game's going to unpause, so nothing lost at all.
Let me just take a quick look at the recording. Since Chen died, it was 6 ticks, and then Sniper died. I think Not Today got 1 kill that we missed because we were disconnected.
Oh, they did. I suppose so. I have no idea the circumstances of said kill. Let's see.
I have no idea. We'll just assume that it was a really nice play from someone, and they didn't use a Ravage or anything like that, so they have all their ultimates up again. So, you know, in the end, it's going to be 8 to 6. I think it was 7 to 6 by the time we disconnected, and yeah, I could take another quick
No, it's
look at
8 to 6 when we disconnected. It was the Nature's Prophet that died down bottom.
Okay, well, then no kills happening, which is all well and good. The Necro army is going to put a lot of pressure down on bottom. Evo's in the area, but a waveform will not do jack against this army. Mihawk's in the area as well. Maybe they're going to look for the posts. They do deploy the Ravage for him. Invoker has a Ghost Walk available. No, he can't get it off. The Wrath of Nature does fly through. In the meantime, top lane, smash the Exorcism up. Gonna try to go for Vestus. He sends the Nature's Prophet up into the air. One more Crypt Swarm will kill off the Chen. Hand of God, Mech. It is going to be enough to keep him alive for now. Now Masoku with the Necro Slam is going to do literally no damage. He gets assassinated from the sidelines. Jubilu stuck in the wards, and he's going to be brought down by the Death Prophet plus the Shadow Shaman combination. No one else from the house is down, is really in the area. Although, no, here comes Sniper. He's going to kill off one. Look for the other, but Smash is going to chase him away. Gui with the Ice Path is going to try to ward off Smash, but Yuka should be just fine. as the Death Prophet, still trying to chase this one down, is very, very quick with that boots of travel. In fact, moving at max movement speed. But in the end, 10 to 8, and it's an even trade across the board, though. Sniper really showing how much damage he could put out. If not today, had the Tide or the Morphling, or ideally both up there, it would have been so much easier for them. But they decided to take a 3v5 fight, or 3v4, and ultimately it didn't really pan out the greatest for them. Though it still did go decently.
Yeah, they get themselves a tier 2 tower up top, and they secure or save their one in bottom. So I think that's still favorable, despite being an even kill score. They were able to come out on top in the map pressure department. Yeah, that Sniper, he has that Blink Dagger. We haven't talked about it before, but I think this is honestly the way to play Sniper. Positioning is just so important for the hero, and especially in professional games, you can't really get away with just standing and right-clicking. I mean, sure, in pubs you can, but you need to have some sort of repositioning tool. Shadowblade...
Go for Jubilee. Yep. They got the jump on him with the Cyclone in, and, well, he's going to try to hide, but Death Prophet sneaks one more right-click in. I like the Blink Dagger for Sniper. I think it keeps him alive enough, and really that's all you need for survival, as long as you are going to stay in the back. And if he's quick on his fingers, as he showed he was as he dodged Death Prophet gank, then he should be just fine.
Well, yeah, pretty much sums it up. As Death Prophet now going to bump into 2 here, the Chen and Invoker, but there is a Sentry on the ground. She's going to use herself up in the air. Centaur Stomp going to be off the mark, but the Cold Snap is still available, and with all of the summons right-clicking, it's going to be enough. And now, Mystico, he might be in a little bit of trouble. There's no way to bridge the gap, no Force Staffs or anything, but he walks right into the Jakiro. Now the Yule Scepter up in the air. Ice Path to follow up, and now Centaur Stomp is not even going to be needed, as the right-clicks are going to be enough to give Leposa a double kill. That army hurts.
Yeah, that's a freaking huge army, and it's pretty much maxed out, I think, as Nature's Prophet has finished up his book. I think Chen will probably want to get a book of his own, if not a Force Staff, but now they're going to group up. They took 2 heroes down. They are fighting into a Ravage and a Morphling, who's going to be getting his shotgun relatively soon. But no, actually, it's actually Roshan that they're going to go into. That's 3 Chen creeps, 2 Forge Spirits, potentially 4 Necro Warriors, and a ton of Treants, and a Partridge and a Pear Tree. It's like literally as good as the army is ever going to get, and Roshan is going to get absolutely obliterated here. Poor guy never had a shot. After this, Yuka's probably going to have another Aegis on himself, although Leposa might want to pick it up. It looks like they will give it to the Invoker, in fact. I think they're going to probably go to the bottom lane after this.
I would not be surprised. Morphling did pick up his Ethereal Blade right before Roshan went down. So he's getting pretty scary for them to deal with. But the Sniper, if his positioning's good in these team fights, it's going to be pretty easy for him to avoid the Morphling jumping in. Waveform is a long-range spell, to be sure, but it's not long enough to catch out a blinking Sniper. And, well, who's getting caught out here is the Nature's Prophet's going to be almost blown up, but the Hand of God going to keep him safe, and Morphling gets out of there. Well, Hand of God for the first showing of that Ethereal Blade. I think that's fine for both teams, as it's a long cooldown on Hand of God, but then again, usually your first usage of Ethereal Blade is going to net you a kill, so...
Yeah, well, Nature's Prophet with a maxed out book, plus Strength Treads is rather durable, and Morphling had 30 more agility that he could have had if he wanted to, get the full double barrel effect, but he was not fully morphed into agility, playing a little bit more safe, and I don't mind that at all. You don't have to 100 to 0 people with your shotgun. As glorious as it is to see, if you bring them down very low and you don't die at the end of the day, it's going to be a perfectly fine exchange. And still, he could go for the Sniper, who's gone for a Mask of Madness. If he gets hit with an Ethereal Blade, I think that just might kill him, especially if he has that Berserk on. Chen as well has to be fast on his mech, or else he dies. The Jakiro is probably the last hero that's vulnerable to that. But Smash and Mystico, they're going to deploy everything they have down the bottom lane. The Yule Scepter already used from Smash. Actually, no, that was actually the Jakiros. They're going to take down this tower for sure. It's going to be destroyed by the Shadow Shaman. Now are they going to look to fight? There's a throw up on the Invoker, and they get a Ravage onto 2. The Invoker dodges it, though. Vestius going to get hexed up in the back end, but there's going to run out of damage pretty swiftly, as the Morphling's going to go deep for Jubilee. Deafening Blast Meteor does get dropped on him. Iwo dropping so very low, so very quickly. He's going to Strength Morph, and he will be fine. The Invoker does lose his Aegis. In the meantime, the right side of the fight is going to calm down as Jubilee trying to teleport out of here. He will get hexed up right before he leaves. I think this is going to be the death of the Nature's Prophet. Masoku, Iwo, and Mihawk could still re-engage on this. I don't know why they're not going in. Morphling doesn't have any mana. That's why, though. Oh, the Sniper is going to get a nice assassinate onto the Earthshaker. Boom, headshot. And it looks like not today. Well, Tidehunter did clean up the Nature's Prophet. Iwo, unfortunately, just didn't have enough mana to continue fighting. And, well, that really just sucked.
I have no idea what happened during that fight because Brazil servers are garbage. So I got dropped. Luckily, it was Mike Loris that was handling the play-by-play. So I honestly have no clue.
Alright, well, it was kind of a scattered fight all in all. The sniper was off to the side firing off a lot of those times, but once the Morphling dropped so low, he was forced to use his Morph to get back to serviceable amounts of stats, and then he was just out of mana. And he does have a Lincoln Sphere as well as a Ring of Basilius, but that's just not enough mana to continue fighting, which was unfortunate, though it could have gone worse. Morphling dropped very, very low to Leposa's damage combination. Definitely Blast, one of the few tools that the Houses Down actually have that could kill off a Morphling, and it was close, but at the end, close doesn't actually mean anything in Dota, as they are going to take a pretty even trade. The Morphling and Sniper do survive, and the Invoker gets to walk away as well, so they get the tower, and they trade a couple of kills here and there. All in all, I would say pretty even.
Yeah, looks that way as far as the kill score is concerned, and with the heroes that survived, you have Invoker and Tide, as well as Morphling and Sniper, the survivors of that last engagement. So it looks like that was a fairly even trade. Sniper is still surviving, and it looks like he's going to send himself out a Hyperstone towards his Mjolnir. This Sniper is going to be doing quite a bit of damage, and that Lincoln Sphere for the Morphling is not going to be as reliable as they'd like it to be. I don't know. I'm not even sure if I like the Lincolns at all. There's not very much that he's actually going to block with it. Cold Snap maybe, but even that isn't very good up against the Morphling. The single target just isn't there from THD, and it's more or less just there for the stats and regen, which isn't terrible. It's a decent item for Morphling in that department, but then again, I might have just preferred a BKB, or if he just wants the stats, maybe Manta style.
Well, I mean, it's the game is still going to go on for quite a long time, so we'll see what it's actually going to end up being. They all have a lot of room to grow, and they'll have time to grow as well. I mean, Tidehunter's going for a Refresher Orb, Blink Dagger is up in the Earthshaker. There are a lot of big items coming up on everyone that I don't think sequencing is going to be that big of an issue this game, just because it is going to last so long. Ewo is on the hunt, however, and he might run into a dragon. That's a pretty dead dragon if he runs into him, although the Chen creeps will spot him out, and Morphling is not going to find anyone. He's still farming away, and at the moment, I would say the Sniper is the most dangerous hero as far as just killing things, but Morphling could, pretty much 100-0 someone, as he does go for the Jakiro, who is barely saved by the mech. Vestius is pretty quick on that, so third shotgun usage, ultimately doing nothing. So, unfortunately for the Morphling, he's just not doing enough, as they do get a kill on the Earthshaker in the middle lane. Wow, okay. Sniper does a lot of damage, turns out.
Yeah, fair assessment of how that kill went down. But yeah, bottom line is going to be under some heavy pressure from the Nature's Prophet. He is going to do some decent damage as they drop a Ravage for Leposa. They might be able to drop him down, but Ewo doesn't have a lot of mana. It's enough to get the Ethereal Blade. However, he drops a Meteor Deafening Blast on Mihawk. It's not going to be enough, as one more swipe of the Morphling's Ethereal Blade will be enough to secure the kill on the Invoker. Cost him a Ravage, however, and the Tier 2 tower is defended. I suppose that's okay, as the Shadow Shaman is inside the enemy jungle and gets pew-pewed by the Sniper.
Yeah, it was just two fights going on at the same time. I was watching most of the one that happened up north, as Smash did use the Exorcism, ultimately couldn't actually finish off anyone. The lack of the Morphling really hurt them in the last fight, and also not having a Tidehunter, that's obviously not ideal either, as Ewo does get caught out once again, has a lot of agility into the shotgun, but it looks like at the end of the day, Invoker's going to die, Shadow Shaman is going to die. Exorcism not up though, so not today, though ordinarily they would have a pretty decent opportunity to take this Tier 2 tower. They could still go for it, but it's going to be a little bit slower than they really would have liked. But with Earthshaker still packing that Echo Slam, they might just want to go for it anyway. I mean, the Chen is around potentially. Jakiro can't really do much about this. Really, if they get, as long as not today get a single sight on the Sniper, then he's just going to evaporate because he is so soft. But if the Sniper keeps playing as he has been, staying off to the side, using his Blink Dagger, engaging, disengaging, re-engaging, then THD, they're going to be okay with losing this tower, because they, although they're going to be behind in towers, are still farming very comfortably.
Yeah. This next pickup from the Invoker is going to make that Lincoln Sphere on the Morphling a lot more impactful, as the Scythe of Ice is pretty much the only thing that Morphling needs to be scared of. There are ways to pop it, like unit-targeted Sprout, quick Cold Snap from the Invoker, something along those lines, but the Chen's the one who's going to get picked off here as the Fissure, follow-up Gush, and now the right clicks. It's going to be a Morphling who scores that kill. Dominating Spree for Ewo. Pretty straightforward kill onto the Chen. Yeah, just going in blind up that ramp wasn't a wise move for him, it turns out. Yeah, it's a risk that sometimes you want to take to drop wards or something else. A sniper, oh no, sniper gets picked off. He was able to replicate in the Morphling, and now they're going to cancel a TP from the Nature's Prophet and break the trees with the waveform through. They'll be able to get in there, and that's a triple kill for Ewo across the map. Didn't actually see him replicate down towards bottom, but that's going to be completed Manta now in the Morphling.
And in mid lane, Mihawk's going to get cold snapped up, but he does Kraken Shell just in time. No! Oh man, Invoker with the Alacrity on him does a ton of damage, and here comes Masoka from the side, going to try to go for the Shakiro, though he's completely out of mana. He will stick around in order to interrupt an Urn charge, but potentially. If Misko's in the area, he's going to Yule's dodge the Ice Path, but though he does land into it, and he's going to get bowled over by a Deafening Blast, but a Morphling is potentially in the area. Here he comes, waveform forward, has a shotgun available, but he's just going to use a simple adaptive strike to kill off that Invoker. People are being thrown up in the air. How many Yule Scepters are there? Seriously. It's going to be Ewo collecting everyone's head at the end of the day, though, as the house is down, lose a whole bunch of heroes. Masoku might actually die to these Forge Spirits. That was embarrassing. We're going to pretend that never happened, but still, Morphling is 8-0-4. The lack of disable is really hurting the houses down, as Morphling is just all over the frickin' place, going everywhere, claiming everyone. And really, how that fight on bottom started was Shadow Shaman running into a Sniper and a Nature's Prophet, yet he still managed to get out because Morphling is capable of 100 to 0ing the Sniper and will continue to be capable of that until Sniper gets a BKB. And even then, if he's fast, the Morphling, then Sniper is not going to have a snowball's chance in hell. He has an Eye of Scotty. This Morphling is absolutely stacked right now, and he's terrifying.
He is terrifying. I thought he'd just complete up the Manta stall, but I suppose after getting like 6 kills around the map, you can afford to splurge and buy yourself some big items that are just going to be ridiculous. He can now comfortably sit at full agility and still be in a good situation as far as health is concerned because of his Lincoln Sphere. Without the Scythe from the Invoker, there's no way they can kill him. And to answer your question, there are 3 Yule Scepters on this game, as well as a Tornado from the Invoker, which is not negligible, as now he does have 3 points in the Wex. Well, Chen. Poor Chen. Yep.
Rip Chen. He used his mech to save himself, decided to hold on to the Hand of God, probably the responsible decision. In the meantime, bottom lane, they're also going to be messing with Jubilee just a little bit, but Blink Dagger keeping the Nature's Prophet safe. This Morphling can hunt for kills all day long, as he does go again for the Jakiro. Deafening Blast Meteor not going to land, as Morphling does replicate his way down to the bottom lane. Masoku left behind by the rest of his team, but he does have a Blink Dagger and Misako to back him up. The Forge Spirits are going to haunt Earthshaker, and they'll chase him down a little bit, but Ewo's here to clean them up. No fear, Earthshaker. The Morphling is here to hold your hand. Ewo, not with that much mana, though, so I don't know if Not Today actually want to go anywhere with this push. They have Exorcism and they have a Ravage, so, I mean, going for it is not a terrible idea, but the Morphling needs Arcane Boots or a lot of time for his Lincoln Sphere to go to work or something. They're going to go for both the mid lane and bottom lane. Mighty bold of the Not Today side. Let's see what they get. They're going to shotgun the Jakiro. That's a good way to start for sure. Exorcism going to push down the bottom lane tower pretty much at the exact same timing as mid. Fortification will hold both the towers for now, as Earthshaker does jump in on the Chen. They will bring him down very low. Echo Slam's going to go onto Yuka, but he's still alive. Mihawk going to jump forward for a Ravage Gush. Going to kill off the Chen. Now Yuka forced to book it. He has phase boots. He's mighty quick, and he will survive. But it is a 1-for-2 trade so far, as Tidehunter awkwardly in the trees is going to survive. Also has enough gold for his refresher. In the meantime, top lane, it's going to be an initiation onto the Nature's Prophet, stuck in a corner. Everyone's getting juggled up into the air, but I think Nature's Prophet is not going to survive. Misko is going to get Sunstruck, though. It's a 1-for-1 kill yet again. Ewo still chilling around the mid lane, looking for Yuka, I'm sure. Here comes the big bad Morphling. Shotgun, maybe? No, not just yet. Well, at the end of the day, the house is down, lose 2 tier 3 towers. It could have been a lot worse for them, though, so I would say that's kind of a successful defense, although Not Today showing just how powerful their pushing is. They take a huge lead in the net worth and the EXP charts.
I would have liked to see Not Today just commit to one lane. They probably would have been able to take the lane of Rax, but then again, splitting the focus turned out to work for them, as now Ewo is getting dangerously close to being 6-slotted. He has his Mantis Stall to complete, and those illusions are going to hit like trucks, is with 300 base damage. Those illusions, let's see, it's ridiculous. Okay. I'm not even going to think about that. Let's see. The Butterfly also for Morphling presumably is next time, just anything to make him hit harder. But for all intents and purposes, this Morphling is at his peak. There's nothing scarier on this map. As close as it was to the beginning portions of this game, and up until about 20 minutes or so, it was more or less the same. Now we see a huge net worth lead for Not Today at 14,000. Similar lead for Experience as well, and a lot of it's in the hands of the Morphling. Despite the Shadow Shaman and Earthshaker not getting very much, it doesn't matter, as the top heroes on their map are on the side of Not Today. The Death Prophet's very tanky. Shiva's Guard Heart, Eul's Drums, she's moving at constant max movement speed with those boots of travel and drums. There's just nothing they can do to stop her. This Morphling is on a hunting mission. Let's see who he finds.
Well, he's going to find no one for now. Did a quick calculation in my head on the Ethereal Blade, which does roughly 700-ish damage, given his current status as Sniper is going to pick off the Tidehunter down bottom. Okay, teleportation in, and Nature's Prophet going to clean that one up, but really it's the mid lane that I think the House is Down really have to be concerned about. They could sack this tower not today, and they'll be just fine, because Exorcism is barreling down the top lane. Really, do they want to go for top? Questionable decision, I'd say, but Death Prophet has a heart in Shiva. She's not going to die anytime soon. Jump forward for Vestius. Shotgun, not even needed. Just 4 right clicks, and Ewo's going to get that kill. Gui is in the area. They're going to Tornado. Deafening Blast, Meteor. Ewo's going to drop pretty low because of this, but he Manta Styles out and wants to keep fighting. Strength Morph is there. He's going to go up to the high ground, try to kill up this Jakiro, but he's going to get cold snapped. Morphling, still Strength Morphing, but he's still alive. There's a shotgun onto the Jakiro. Even after Strength Morph, he's going to kill him off. Now he's going to go to town Laposa, fighting to the death. He will replicate out just in the nick of time before his mana gets drained, and now here comes Basoku. Gonna try to go for Jubilee. Meantime, top lane, the entirety of the Raxes have been taken. Yuka trying to defend that against Smash. Not gonna happen though. Smash still in a little bit of trouble. Is going to try to go for Jubilee. Will land the silence. The Fisher though not cooperating with them. Jump forward for another enchant totem. Jubilee's gonna go down. That's Gem on the floor. Yuka is unable to catch up to anyone. Morphling also going to slip away unharmed. No Sunstrike is going to kill him off. Not today. They take a set of Raxes. They take kills all over the place, and it's really just Morphling buying all the space in the world for Smash to get the job done.
Yeah, Ewo, I commend his Morphling. That was really fun to watch. Just him going into the base. He had like no HP, but it didn't matter. Strength Morph, good spell. He knew exactly when to bail, and he ended up picking up 2 kills, and yeah, space created for that Death Prophet. Even if he died there, it definitely wouldn't have been a good thing for Not Today, but it would have been okay, since they get a full lane of racks as well as all of the other racks being exposed. This game is just so hard for the Houses Down right now. They need more items in order to do that, and how are they going to be able to do so? They have a Sniper that's farming decently well, or can farm decently well, the Mjolnir. He has a BKB, however, he needs more damage to actually warrant sitting on the backlines and right-clicking, because if he shows his face to right-click, the Morphling, wait for him in Ethereal Blade Shotgun, that's going to 100 to 0 him with or without Mask of Madness, unless he has the BKB pre-popped.
I think it's actually going to 100 to 0 everyone right now. It's a 900 damage nuke with the Ethereal Blade plus Adaptive Strike waveform. That's incredibly dangerous, and he's just going to very calmly walk into the enemy base and kill their Raxes, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Just leaving the Illusions there to do the heavy lifting, and oh, 7 HP. I believe in you, Illusions. Was it denied?
Got denied,
I think that was
yeah.
denied.
It was denied by the Sniper.
Well, they're going to slam in onto Vestius. Mihawk looking for a Ravage opportunity. It's not even going to be used just yet, as Chen is going to be dried up very quickly. Misko dropping pretty low. The Sniper will kill him off the end, but it's now smashed in the front lines. He's being focused by the Sniper with so much armor and health. He's not taking much damage at all. That's going to be the bottom lane of Raxes, almost completed, as Ewo is forced to teleport away. The Serpent Ward's still going for the melee Raxes. Ewo will hold the bottom lane in the meantime. He's got to watch out for these melee Necro units, but he's more than capable of doing that. As meantime, Ravage is deployed in the base of the Dire. Now Yuka can be bashed down by the Tidehunter, instantly buying back, but the damage has already been done. They took the mid lane of Raxes, and now they're going to slowly focus down the bottom lane as well. The Sniper cannot compete against this. Ewo is still going strong as he does replicate back, and that's going to be GG. They're going to be facing up Mega Creeps, and that is just too much for them to handle. This Morphling is just too big.
Yeah, they never were able to get to the point where they could handle the Morphling. There wasn't enough lockdown for him. They needed like an Orchid and 2 sides, I think. And even then, if they had committed to those instead of the Necrobooks, they wouldn't have been able to take the fights. They needed to win the last 3 fights, because this Morphling did not die a single time this game. Despite the Shadow Shaman and the rest of his team not having the best game, they were still in an adequate position to do the work. Gold per minute on that Morphling, 758. Not the fastest farming hero, but who needs to farm creeps when you have heroes to kill? 12-0 M4. Wonderful performance from Ewo.
Alright guys, that's going to be it for game number 1. We're going to be going into game number 2 very shortly, so don't go anywhere. There's going to be more Dota, lots more Dota in fact, coming your way.